Welcome back to Home Studio Production Basics. This is a series all about helping you up the value of things you create from a home studio. This is episode 13. It's kind of a product review. I want to tell you about the Feelworld LUT 7 field monitor. However, when I show this to you, you'll automatically assume it could be used in the field, and that's what it's made for. But I'm actually here to convince you that this is a great asset for your home studio for a bunch of different reasons. Specifically, though, the waveform, the vectorscope, some of the video diagnostic tools that it has. Also the fact that, you could bring it out on a shoot if you wanted to do that too. We'll dive into more on that later, but first, here are some of the main features. As you would assume, it's a 7-inch monitor, and it's capable of 2200 nits. That's the brightness. If you're asking how bright is that, 2200 is well bright enough for you to use outdoors without a shade. A lot of these field monitors come with a shade. What does that tell you? The nit value is not high enough to work outside, so it needs help. It needs shade so that its brightness is sufficient. This one doesn't come with a shade, doesn't need a shade. It's bright enough to work outside, by the way. There is a sensor on it so that if you bring it indoors, it's automatically going to dial down the brightness. It's not going to blow you away. It's not always that bright. It's got 4K, HDMI in and outputs, so the throughput of this monitor exists. It's not just a dead end. Essentially, you don't plug the signal into it and it can't go anywhere else. This is great because you could use this monitor as like a confidence monitor from the camera into the monitor, then out of the monitor, and then into a computer or switcher or wherever you are encoding your video source. And also, by the way, if you plug in 1080, it's going to put 1080 out. So you can do 4K, but you can also do 1080. It's powered by batteries or an AC power adapter. Obviously, that's great flexibility, the best of both worlds. If you need to plug it into AC, obviously it's an AC to DC adapter there. Full scopes. Now, some people pay thousands of dollars to get vectorscopes, waveform monitors, so they can quickly calibrate the video signal that they are producing out of the camera. What's great is that for a couple $100, depending on when, how, and where you buy this, you're getting the monitor itself with all of those built-in diagnostics. And that's the big reason why I'm here to sell you on this and share it with you, because once you understand how to use those devices and those tools, and then you have that with this monitor, it's basically like getting two things for the price of one. I like the fact that it's got a cold shoe mount. You can put it on top of your camera. You can put it on top of a tripod. It can stand on a table next to you. I mean, I could easily, here in the home studio, I could mount it right here if I wanted to. I could put it off camera. In fact, I actually have a monitor, a different one, right now, right below the camera I'm looking at. So it just goes to show you this is a field monitor by name, but it could easily be utilized in a home studio situation. It's also got a touchscreen for quick volume, I think one way, and brightness the other. You just do a quick swipe. Also, some of the menus are touchscreen. All right, favorite parts, and let's begin with the great resolution. I guess some of it has to do with the overall brightness, like that helps the image, but the sharpness is tremendous. If you're going in to check focus on something or look at detail or color balance, it produces a very bright, crisp, sharp, clean image. And let's be honest, that's most important when you're capturing something. It is such a departure from looking at that tiny little screen of your DSLR, which may only be a couple inches smaller, but when you get this, even on the 7 inches diagonally, in 1080 or in 4K, I mean, there's no question you are going to be able to see how it will eventually look on a much bigger screen because of this Feelworld LUT 7 field display. It's got a headphone jack, which is also great. Not every camera has that. They all have HDMI outputs, so then you could go HDMI out into this and then monitor with the headphone jack the audio that the camera is producing. I like that very much. There's no problem viewing from any different angle. The Feelworld LUT 7 does not suffer from, a bad 45-degree angle or 135-degree angle. No matter where you're looking at it from, there's no glare or reflection or screen problem issues. There's 3 custom buttons on top. I really like that. You can mute the audio, you can flip the image, you can do false color. You can put the zebra pattern on there. You can also, with one touch of a button, you can put all of the vector scopes and waveforms up on the screen at one time. Just one push of a button. It's awesome. So you can check that video signal, look for color balance, overall video balance. It is a great asset to have this. And like I said, the vector scope, the histogram, the safety markers on the screen, all at the same time, all with one push of the button. People pay hundreds and thousands, again, of dollars for this just alone. So to have it built into this field monitor, and by the way, not all field monitors come with this, you're getting a real bang for the buck because of these features. I'm not here to bash on the product, but I do want to warn you 3 things that I've noticed. Drawbacks, not things that make me don't recommend this, but definitely drawbacks. Number 1, it is a bit plasticky, not overall to the extent where I think it's going to break or I'm worried about that or I don't want to use it or take it places. Not that by any means. It feels robust and well built. It's just that, being in my business at the level that I'm at and using some of the equipment, usually it's made of aluminum or some type of metal, and it could withstand a drop or 2 or 5 over 5, 10, 20 years. This one, you do want to take care of it because, like I said, it does have the plastic frame. It's got some plastic grills. So there are points that could be more delicate than others. And I guess you could put it in a case. You could protect it a little bit better, but it is made out of plastic. The other thing is that all the HDMI plugs and even the power plug on the very bottom of the monitor, there's this little gap. I mean, it's not typical for an HDMI plug to have that little gap where I'm still seeing a connector in there. Usually, the plastic goes flush with the plastic. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but it does exist and it works fine and it snaps in, but there is that weird gap that I can't explain and I don't know where it comes from. Also, the fact that I told you can use an AC adapter to power this in addition to batteries, but it doesn't actually come with a battery or an AC adapter. Usually something like this you would think would come with a power adapter so that at the very least you could plug it into the wall and automatically use it like that. So again, none of these break the deal for me. They don't make me dislike this product at all. I just want to warn you about those 3 drawbacks in fairness. So that's the Feelworld LUT 7. Great tool to have, right? If you're going to go out and do shoots and you want peace of mind of what you're recording in the moment or what's happening for a live stream, having one of these in front of you would be tremendous. I also suggest, by the way, if you don't know how to use a histogram or a vector scope or a waveform monitor, that you do that. So I'm not going to, maybe it's a separate episode I'll do here, but how to do that, how to interpret it, obviously important to having it and then being able to use it properly. But again, this is a field monitor. Technically, it would work great in your home studio.